Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern Ned Reynolds in the studio on a Tuesday morning. When you look at the Final Four for the men's, two of the teams, the Michigan-Arizona game, number one. Illinois-UConn, 3-2. But the women's, all numero unos in that Final Four.
They are indeed. These are the top four teams in the country, and I think what you just mentioned there represents the differences between men's and women's basketball. Men's basketball, there are probably, there's always going to be some surprises, some Cinderellas, so to speak, who come through and make it. Maybe not this year, but that can happen. In women's basketball, no. You have the strongest teams, and then you have everybody else. And the four strongest teams in the country are Connecticut, UCLA, Texas, and South Carolina, and they will be the Final Four teams. Now, the women's Final Four, this is a very interesting matchup coming up because Connecticut, which is undefeated, folks, they've won 54 straight games. On the surface, they look like a really good team, and they are a 6.5-point favorite over South Carolina in the semifinal game. 6.5 points. These are the two teams that played for the national title last year, and Connecticut ran South Carolina out of the ballpark. But that was a different Connecticut team. They are not high scoring in terms of perimeter. Now, they got all their points underneath. They're big and strong, but you know what? South Carolina is very, very quick. That'll be a terrific matchup. And then the Texas Ball Club, Texas playing UCLA. Oh, my goodness. That's a heavyweight battle if there ever was one. Anyway, they are the Final Four. South Carolina beat Texas Christian last night 78-57, and Texas ran Michigan out of the ballpark. It was Texas 77, Michigan 41. Quite frankly, a little bit surprised. They are big and strong teams, but the Texas Longhorns under Vic Schaefer have a very good basketball team and a possible national champion.
So we've got a doubleheader. If you're not doing anything on Friday, that's when this takes place, right?
This is interesting because the ladies play on Friday and the men on Saturday, and that's all for television purposes. Ladies will play their games, their semifinal games, on Friday night in Phoenix, Arizona. They're playing in the home arena of the Phoenix Suns of the NBA. And the first game, I believe, is going to be the matchup between the Texas Longhorns and the UCLA Bruins. I believe that's the first game, and then South Carolina meets Connecticut in the second game. So it's all set for semifinals on Friday, the championship game on Sunday, and it's on a Sunday afternoon. It's for national television purposes. The men are Saturday and Monday.
We've got a pretty big baseball night for the Missouri State Bears. What's going down?
This is a big game, not only on the schedule, but for the celebration that's going to take place. The game is the Bears in Arkansas. They'll play twice this year. First one's tonight at Hammons Field. The second one will be later on this spring down in Fayetteville. Arkansas is a named team, in the College World Series last year. And a win for the Bears is another marquee notch on your RPI, the ratings percentage index. And the Bears need to get as many of them as they can. Already had one over Oklahoma State, which was a walk-off game, or actually what they call a mercy rule game. Bears won 16-2. That looks good. But if you can beat an Arkansas team, that looks even better. Unfortunately for Missouri State, Arkansas is coming in very angry. They lost 3 games over the weekend, all 3 to Florida, and that's a conference loss for them. Now, that's the game. The celebration is Marty Prather. This is the Celebration of Life night honoring the signed man who passed away last year. Marty Prather was known by virtually everybody in the area. He did so much for not just Missouri State athletics, but for athletics around the state and around the nation. Everybody knew him. Signed man. He held up all those all those great signs that his artist John Short made for him, and hey, they were terrific. And Marty, who unfortunately passed away way too young at the latter part of last year, will be honored prior to the game. Game time is 6 o'clock, so all of the ceremonies will probably be in the neighborhood of 5:30. They're going to have material there for individuals to make their own signs. It should be a lot of fun. But that's all going on at Hammons Field. Bears play Arkansas at 6, and it's Marty Prather's Celebration of Life night. Should be a very nostalgic evening.
So you're going to be there for sure,
yes.
Right? Oh, yeah. We'll have a good time, Ned. The Cardinals started their series with the Mets yesterday after a pretty good opening series. Could not get the win, though.
No, the New York Mets came away with a win, 4-2. Bo Bichette, who is a budding superstar if he isn't one already, had 2 RBIs for the New York Mets, and that's half their runs. But the pitcher is the interesting story, Clay Holmes, and they're not a whole lot, unless you're a really solid baseball fan, you're not really familiar with him. He's 34 years old, been around for a while, and he had the Cardinals stymied through 6 innings, and then he comes out in the 6th, and here comes Nolan Gorman up, and he hits a home run. So long, Clay. They bring in the minor leaguers, and Tobias Myers and the rest of that New York Mets staff just completely handcuffed the Cardinals. 4-2, the New York Mets get the win over the Cardinals. Just the first game of the series. There's another one coming up tonight up at Busch Stadium. So indeed, a New York Mets win. Long way to go in the season, though. But hey, don't get your hopes up. The Cardinals have a scrappy team. They're tough. They're going to make life miserable for other teams, but they are probably not a championship contender.
Well, we'll see. Royals started their season on the road in Atlanta, but returned home for their home opener against the Twins and got the win yesterday.
Almost 40,000 on hand at Kauffman Stadium. Royals beat the Minnesota Twins by a score of 3-1, and home runs did it for Kansas City. Kyle Isbell and Isaac Collins had the home runs, and Chris Bubich got the victory in this one, 39,320, almost 40,000 at Kauffman Stadium. I wish the Royals would draw that every time out, and who knows, they may, because they're a very good baseball team. Get the win over the Minnesota Twins, 3-1, and they have another game coming up. I believe their next one is Wednesday. I think they held off today for rain purposes for their opener. But nonetheless, it's still Kansas City getting a win. Cardinals did not get a win. However, everything always evens out.
It definitely does, especially when you've got 160-plus games. Missouri Valley Conference basketball coach is flipping up the script. Where's he going?
Utah State, and I am very, very surprised at this. This is Ben Jacobson from Northern Iowa. He's been at Northern Iowa for 20 years, and he's had great success. He's that school's all-time winningest basketball coach, but he announced yesterday that he's pulling up stakes and headed for the coaching job at Utah State out in Logan, Utah. Utah State's an interesting team. They're Mountain West Conference now, but about, be 2.5 months from now, they will move to the Pac-12, and there'll be another state team in the Pac-12. It's almost all state teams. Gonzaga plays basketball, or will next year, in the Pac-12, and Dallas Baptist will play baseball in that league as well. Otherwise, it's pretty good. You got Washington State, Oregon State, and San Diego State, and all the states. They're right there in that conference. Anyway, Ben Jacobson is taking his team out there after 20 years, or he's going out himself. 397 career wins. That's a 60.5-point winning percentage for Ben Jacobson at Northern Iowa. 5-time Valley Coach of the Year. He just did everything. The one that sticks out in my mind is March of 2010, which has been, 26 years ago? No, 16 years ago. 16 years ago, Kansas and Northern Iowa playing in the NCAA tournament. Kansas is the top seed, and Northern Iowa beat them. Beat him on three-point shooting, and it was a colossal upset. Anyway, Ben Jacobson leaving Northern Iowa, going to Utah State.
Ned, have a great Tuesday. I'll see you tomorrow.